Welcome in to the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR to sign up for a new account and get amazing odds boosts every single day. Dr. Dubs is back in the house, dressed up as anything but a doctor for spooky season. I think, well, you know what? This hockey game needed a doctor, actually. So,
oh, man, from the start of it, it definitely needed a doctor.
Yeesh. It was a weird game. It was, as the title might suggest to you in the podcast, the Evs and Mild played a very, very sloppy hockey game. But it wasn't bad. I wouldn't qualify it as bad. It was just messy.
It was definitely a messy game. It was a fun game to watch. I mean, I'm sure the coaches were pulling their hair out on both benches watching this because the puck's just everywhere. People are just... I mean, it was off the walls.
Yeah.
I mean, no one could make a good pass to each other for that first 10 minutes. It was brutal.
It was hard to watch.
I don't think they connected for 3 passes for the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, it legitimately, like, both teams.
Yeah.
One pass and then it sails by a guy or it bounces off somebody's skate or nonsense, but...
When both teams are doing it, it doesn't really matter, right?
You know, fair is fair, I guess. And look, the final score looks real good in the Avs' favor, 4-1.
Definitely.
If you don't look at anything else, I think you're super happy with the result there. And even, again, not a normal game for the Avs. They led for pretty much all of it. They gave up a goal to make it 1-1, but immediately scored after.
Yeah, I mean, they gave up that goal too, and they, the Wild were on the power play. It was a beautiful executed power play.
Yeah, and we'll get to the Avs power play in a little bit too. But if we're starting off the top, the difference in the first period of this game was the Avs figured it out first, right?
Yep.
We talked about the sloppiness. All of a sudden, halfway through the period, the Avs goal comes. Boom, boom, boom. 3 beautiful passes.
Oh, unreal. Like Berkey, too, right there. Like he had that chance just to squeeze the stick and shoot it, and instead passes it over to a wide open Landeskog.
Landy gets to put one home on he made it look pretty, but it was an easy goal for him, let's be honest. And just a beautiful play from the Avs, which is... When we talk about the Avalanche as a cup contending team, I think that's part of what we mean, is they don't have to bring their A game on any given night because they can do that on any shift.
Yep.
Any shift, something clicks and a puck's in the back of your net.
For sure.
So...
I mean, and the other part of that whole sequence there was Bo Byram really started that out by getting the puck out of the zone, right? Like there was a little bit of back and forth down in the Av zone, and finally Bo gets control of it and just kind of works its way up the boards.
Doesn't get a point for it, but
no, but
goal doesn't happen without him, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, this was a fun hockey game, I think. Sometimes weirdness is fun, right? Like it's not the prettiest to watch, but you get a little bit of back and forth. You get some nonsense going on. And you kind of see who can wade through it a little bit better.
Well, we were talking about it too. Is like in the first period there for about there was like a 2-minute stretch there where the Avs were under fire. Kemper made some big saves, got some good blocks, and then also just got lucky, right? Like, there was a few times where the Wild were wide open. There was a wide open net. Sticks were tied up, or the
backhand
puck just
flubbed wide, fanned one-timers, things like that. And
I mean, that's part of hockey, though, right? It's just
absolutely.
getting a little bit lucky.
The Avs have had their fair share of fan shots and the like over the past couple of games. So a little bit of karma or something, maybe. Ooh, Landy's hair looks pretty not red in that picture. Yeah. That looks pretty blonde.
I don't know.
That looks pretty blonde to me.
It's not loaded on here, so I can't tell.
Okay. Look, I don't think the Avs played particularly well in periods 2 and 3 of this hockey game. And I think part of that is this team is still learning how to play in a close game that they lead.
Yeah.
We've seen them look at their wins. And a pretty easy win against Chicago where they led by a lot the whole way.
Yeah.
a Tampa Bay game where they should have won in regulation but blew it, and it took it all the way to the shootout to get the job done.
Definitely.
And then recently here they now have 2 in a row where they're starting to feel out what it's like to have a lead in the third period again, I think. But tonight, while it wasn't pretty, again, Darcy Kemper only gives up 1 goal in the game. It was his workload outrageous? Did he have to make unbelievable saves? No. But the job got done.
Yeah, and there was a few stretches there where, the Avs had to rely on him.
Yeah.
Because there was just a breakdown there. And again, like we said, there was a lot of luck out there tonight for the Avs.
Definitely.
And that's part of hockey, and it worked out for them.
Yeah, I mean, certainly a little bit of luck both ways when it comes to injuries, at very least. Look, you never want anyone to get hurt, as multiple Minnesota players took pucks and sticks to the face.
Yep.
Hoping the best for all of them. But at the same time, the Avs lose Andrei Burakovsky in this game. Not really defined.
Yeah, it was kind of a quiet exit.
Hey, he's got an upper body injury. He's not going to return. We haven't heard from the Bednar presser yet. As I'm sure Evan and AJ are on top of that, but they're not in studio. So
yeah, it's a short bench tonight. Over here.
we're running a little bit short too, just like the team. So it's the way it goes. But I think, look, I mean, let's be real. The turning point in this game was the Avs get scored on in the second period, and Nathan McKinnon decides that he's going to dunk on Minnesota and give Eric Johnson a goal.
Oh, wow. I mean, like, you see that from your captain. Well, not your captain, but your best player. Assistant captain, but your best player on the ice.
It's alternate. Someone will yell at me before. It is alternate captain, not assistant.
I mean, that was a full energy McKinnon out there, right?
Yeah. It was not the norm. Again, more weirdness in this game. Yeah. McKinnon was fired up, and he was doing things. In the first period, he almost put John Merrill on a poster. But then, he goes full beast mode and creates the EJ goal.
Absolutely.
He decides he wants to get into a fight.
Oh, man, that is...
in the third period.
I don't know how to feel about that one. Like, it's like, that's awesome. He's sticking up for Bo Byram. He's showing the way of, like, you're not going to mess with this guy. Especially after just a horrible hit on Bo Byram. Like, somebody had to answer the bell on that one. But do you want it to be... number 29.
Nathan McKinnon versus a guy who I've never heard of before tonight is not a good trade.
No, absolutely not.
Now, it worked out for the Avs in pretty much every measurable way. One, because they called it a major for boarding, and 2, because they decided that Nathan McKinnon throwing his gloves off and punching a dude was roughing.
That's
and
the greatest
not
part.
fighting.
Speaking of his gloves, the only person out there with
he brought
light blue gloves.
Is he just feeling hot?
Maybe it's just like those are broken in the way he likes them.
I guess. I don't know. He was. They come off real easy.
They do
that's for sure.
Maybe that's why he likes them. Who knows?
Look, either way, it worked for Mac tonight. It wasn't the all-world goal-scoring ability, but and look, I think it starts from the top. You see Mac playing physical like that, and it went all the way down the lineup tonight. Obviously, you get that stuff every night from guys like Logan O'Connor and all that, but you saw Cale Makar putting down hits. You saw Eric Johnson stepping into people. You saw everyone top down was getting into the game physically.
For sure. When you see one of the leaders of the team being engaged like that, not having the greatest night offensively, right?
Yep.
Not really doing much out there. And it's like, oh, well, I'm not affecting the game that way. So I'm just going to go out there all amped up and just kind of cause chaos. I thought he did a good job.
Absolutely. And that part of the game was super fun for me to watch. Was the physicality was absolutely there every single shift of the night. And look, sometimes hockey's that simple. Yeah. If the puck isn't working for you on your stick, just go out there and beat dudes with effort.
Yeah. I think the thing that the Avs did very well against the Wild was just the pursuit on the puck. The pressure on the puck. Like, the Wild didn't have time to think about what they were going to do, and that really worked out in the Avs' favor. And I mean, that's what happens when you've got a hungry team.
Yeah, hungry is the correct word for it tonight. I think for the Avs, the second goal they score pretty much exemplifies it, where they get scored on and they said, "Look, it doesn't have to be pretty tonight," but they weren't going to lose this hockey game.
No,
it's it's game 8 of the season. It's too early to be like, "Oh, this is the biggest game of the year," right? But
so far,
but they get back to 500, right?
And, absolutely.
And I think that gives everyone, both in the organization and the fan base, it's like, all right, take a breath.
Yeah.
Whatever the start of the season was is washed away. The Avs are just fine. You're back here. You're good to go.
Yeah, and that takes stress out of the locker room too, right?
Yep.
Not thinking about where you're standing right now. And, basically you can go out there and do what you want to do. So, and they looked a little bit looser tonight.
They did. I do think noticeably we're not squeezing the sticks.
Yes.
Compared to the last couple of games where, look, I know the Avs bombing away from the point isn't everyone's favorite thing in the world, but they weren't shy about it. They weren't doing the cut to the slot and pass the puck instead of shoot. Well, it drives everyone insane.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, that's an improvement. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Look, I don't love that the Avs got heavily outshot in the second and third period of this game.
Yeah.
The puck possession was not great. And thankfully, we don't have to understand what this game looks like without the major penalty at the start of the third, because 1-goal lead in that third period didn't feel super comfortable.
No, especially when you see the Wild pressing like that, right? Like, there was some times where they had a lot of control, and they were peppering Kemper
for sure. But Kemper, it was a weird night, right? Because the defense felt pretty solid to me, despite the lack of possession for the Avalanche. Yes, they gave up a couple of high danger chances here and there. Yes, there were some possessions where they failed to clear the puck, but on the whole, they were taking care of what they needed to do and limiting Minnesota to chances that you settle for most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of perimeter shots. I think there was just a few times there, especially again, like every period they had a time where the Wild were just controlling the puck down low and moving the puck around the zone. And for whatever reason, the Avs just could not match it. But the shots were perimeter shots, or they were blocked. There was a lot of block shots. Look at EJ's block shot before that goal that he scored. That looked brutal.
Yeah, I clearly was not feeling very good on that.
Well, I mean, you
on
get
that play.
The inside of the skate there that's basically like, that's you're wearing sandals basically at that point.
All right, look. So I've never taken a slap shot from anyone off the skate blade. Blaze, what does that actually feel like?
It hurts, especially if it gets you on the top of the skates.
Sure.
My right foot is broke from a slap shot to it.
Still?
Yeah. Well, it broke, and then I never got it fixed because I was
just
young
healed however it healed.
Oh yeah, it's gross.
Oh, great.
Yeah. You'll see it sometime. Eric's seen it before. I wear sandals a lot.
Say, don't just give that away for free. That's OnlyFans.
Oh, what do I have to do? Like a little reveal.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely not. Reveal anything like that.
But it's one of those plays where it's not going to feel good, but EJ shakes it off.
Yep.
Comes in and does what he has to do on the very next shift.
Yeah,
like,
that's awesome.
My foot might be broken, but I'm scoring a goal.
Yeah, until he takes his skate off, he's fine, right?
Right. Keeps the swelling down.
Yep. Everything's in place until you...
In about 35 minutes, he's going to not be able to
like
walk.
A balloon. Yeah.
But...
He's going to look like a pirate on Halloween.
Peg legging it a little bit. So, look, there was a little bit of fight there for the Avs with that goal, but I do want to get to the power play because, yes, it's a 5-minute major. You're supposed to score a goal on it.
Yeah. more than one, hopefully.
They only scored one. Start with the first half of it.
Sure.
McKinnon's in the box. Rantanen's not in the game.
Yep.
You have a power play one unit that is Landeskog, Kadri, Comfer, I think McCarr, and I don't even know who the fifth
Was
forward
it Ranta? Was
It
Ranta?
might have been
I think
Ranta.
it was
It
Ranta.
might have been Ranta.
I'm not quite sure, but I saw Ranta out there for sure.
And you not only score a goal, but you execute the power play you want.
Oh, beautiful
exactly
pass.
the power play you want.
Yeah.
And you get the critical third goal of the game from a depth option.
Yep.
This is how you write up an Avalanche W every single night. You get goals from your top line, you get a goal from your defense,
Yep.
and you get a special teams goal from your depth options.
Yeah. Which has been lacking. I mean,
A ton.
that special teams. The PP. The PP's been bad.
It actively terrible. And as we continue with the weird storylines of the night, because it's Halloween and it's just a spooky game, I guess. I don't know. The power play, at least the 5-minute, which eventually turned into a 5-on-3 for the last like minute 20 of it or something. It did not get that second goal.
No.
But I thought it looked really good.
Yeah. I mean, again, when you have a 5-minute power play, there's going to be stretches where you give up the puck because you're trying to create chances, right?
Sure.
So that's going to happen. So if you're angry because the Wild get possession and clear it, that's going to happen. But I thought it looked good, and again, it was some weird setups there at the beginning of it, but it worked out.
Yep.
That pass to Kadri, I mean, it might as well came off of Mac's stick.
And look, they set up multiple plays that I really like. Yes, there are a couple of plays where McKinnon takes a shot from up high that is not my favorite thing in the world, but the Avs like it. They know it works sometimes. That's fine. But there were also a number of plays where, one, the Avs worked it down low, got quality opportunities deep in the zone that forced Minnesota to come low. And then after that, they take advantage of sliding McKinnon into the top of the circle.
Yeah.
And that's the shot that really Mac should be taking, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So
did I see, I think we talked about it, Sam Girard down in the corner.
yeah, that was, so they ran a second unit of, I think it was Girard and Byram as the 2D on the second unit. And I don't understand why Girard is the swing man going deep into the zone, because Girard makes way more sense as the dude from the point distributing the puck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially look, Byram thrives coming down the wing as a defenseman. But
is he really a big threat down there?
I don't
know. Is he? Like, I'm asking the question because I truly don't know.
Remains to be seen. Like on the whole, like. Look, Byram's definitely more of a threat to shoot the puck than Girard. I think that's safe to say. He's been dangerous with his passing ability from there in the limited spots that we've seen. But the power play, the second unit tonight was kind of just digging for whatever was left in the lineup. It was a
hodgepodge of a lineup, yeah.
When your options are Sam Girard playing halfway forward or Jason Magna, you play Sam Girard, I guess. But on the whole, though, the difference tonight with the power play to a lot of the games leading up to tonight was the process.
Yeah.
You take the process from tonight and you apply it on a nightly basis, and you feel pretty okay with it.
Yep.
You take the process from the previous 7 games, and you're like, this power play is not going to score much. So,
well, I mean, it is different because you're playing different teams. So obviously, different teams give you different looks, but at least tonight they were getting into the zone and getting set up, right?
Minnesota got kind of pulled apart at the blue line.
And their penalty kill is pretty bad this year. I think they're like 27th in the league or something like that. They're not good.
Turns out when you buy out a franchise defenseman, it hurts your penalty kill.
A guy that just eats minutes.
Yeah,
too,
right. So, all right, a couple of things here.
I also have a couple of things when you have a moment.
No, go for it.
Yeah, let's go. It's weird. You're like behind glass.
Yeah,
I know this time you guys. Well, you can see me on the monitor.
Barely.
Okay. You said like what's spooky and scary about this game. What's spooky and scary to me is the amount of people that have said DNVR only fans. I don't like it. Please stop. No, thank you.
Is it the lighting?
It does feel like a little bit of mood lighting. In
No, because of you talking about showing feet and jorts and everything. That's why DNVR only fans. Second, we had a comment here from Justin saying the quietest I've seen the bar. We are in Studio B.
If you can see this, we're in a studio behind
brick walls
the bar
where no one can't hear anything.
Yeah.
There's brick walls and everything, so that's why it's a little quieter over here.
I assure you.
And then we have someone asking about Ryan's costume. Ryan was all hail Kale, so he was wearing a Kale McCarr jersey with the robe and the king.
We should see if he can make a real
Guest
quick
appearance.
appearance. Can you make that happen?
With the robe on?
And then I was supposed to be Big Moose with a McKinnon jersey, but I couldn't find moose ears anywhere in Colorado.
Slacking. I dressed as a Manscaped rep, so I can't talk.
Yeah, you guys didn't dress up, which is a bummer. But, okay. And then people were talking about the dual winners lounge. We love to see it.
Yeah.
Double wins against Minnesota.
Both Nugs and Avs beat Minnesota, one at home, one away.
Pretty crazy too, right? That they're both playing Minnesota.
It was kind of wild that there's like 10 minutes left in the Avs game and the bar is like celebrating and we're like, this game isn't over yet.
Yeah.
Something good must have happened in the Nuggets game. Did we get to that super chat? I saw we had one there.
Okay.
Kemper's best game so far, 1 goal against, essentially 967 save. He still looks a little frantic and not quite comfortable behind his D. Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. Some of the rebound control tonight I did not love, but look, he made every single save he had to, basically.
Yeah, I thought early on, definitely he was a little squirrely back there. As the game went on, he seemed to kind of get a little bit more feel for the game, stop some pucks. There wasn't as bad as rebounds. Now, again, every period there was some where it was like,
Yeah.
please make a stop so this can end. But I thought he played pretty well.
And like, for perspective here, legitimately, he has played 7 games behind this defense, 7 actual games.
Yep.
It took Grubauer like 25 to really settle in and for the defense to start playing around him the way that he wanted. I think most encouragingly to me, the big problem through the first 4 or 5 games of the season, the dude was getting murdered blocker side.
Yeah.
Not happening anymore.
Nope. And I mean, again, the only goal happened on the power play for the Wild. Right. So like that's expected.
They're going to get where the Avs can't clear it and then it ends up in the slot and it's like, well, good luck, Kemper.
Yeah. Make that save.
Yeah. So it.
Oh, right. Okay, it's time. No, there we go.
Wave to the people. If the king says it, it has to be true. So
you gotta help me with that. There we go. There's the 8.
There you go.
There we go.
The jersey,
You have to show the 8 because it could
clean,
be
super good.
it could be Kemperer, it could be all hail Kale. So you have to make that designation. Has to be pretty clear. See, we got another super chat that I 100% agree with. Knuckle Puck. The Avs made Kaprizov irrelevant in this hockey game.
Well, he's been irrelevant this year. He's had one good game. He had a game where he had 3 assists. I think he has 6 assists on the whole year.
No goals.
0 goals. I mean, that's bad.
Yeah.
Because he was a little firecracker last year for the Wild.
He basically dragged that team around the ice offensively last year.
And the goals that you saw him make last year were unreal too, especially for a rookie.
All right. We have the man, the myth, the couch himself, Evan Rowell, tuning in from his floor, I suppose, not from his couch.
Yeah, no.
Evan, thank you for coming on. How you doing, first of all?
Oh, hold on.
Oh, we can't hear you yet. I guess hang on a second. Go for it. How you doing?
How about now?
All right.
No.
Definitely still can't hear you. That's fine.
All right.
Yeah,
There we go.
Okay. Good to go. Evan, first of all, how was Mexico?
It was good. Good vibes.
Live the dream down there?
Yeah.
I saw your tweet saying you got some ESPN hockey down there. So
Yeah, ESPN's everywhere. That's the thing about ESPN that NBC Sports is not.
true enough. Just we've described this game probably 10 times already as very weird. What are your overall thoughts on this hockey game, Evan?
Yeah, the Avs I felt dominated the first, and then it seemed like Minnesota kind of everything the Avs were trying to do. Minnesota was a step ahead of them in the second period.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when Kemper kind of found his footing, I would say, and this was more. I'm hoping this is the start of Kemper kind of finding a groove because he looked super comfortable tonight. I think that was probably his most consistent game from start to finish, at least for me. And that's why they brought the guy in, because even when the Wild were pushing, it just never felt dangerous in any way.
It's a good way to put it, yeah.
Especially in the third period, I was like, this is like none of this feels. I'm not concerned about any of this right now. Like he just looked in control, and even the Avs were scrambling a little bit, but it didn't really matter.
Yeah, the scary possessions were few and far between, despite Minnesota getting the lion's share of the shot attempts and things like that. So it was certainly effective hockey that way. Let's hit our king of the game here with Evan on the show. There is no doubt about this one. The dude involved in every single Avalanche goal on the night, Gabe Landeskog, leading by example. Was just a monster all the way around. The empty netter was my favorite goal of the night because the Minnesota Wild can't even cheat correctly as Fiala takes the most blatant interference penalty in the history of hockey, and the puck just goes in anyway.
I mean, what are you going to do there?
Yeah, right.
Like, what? They're going to score, so it might as well.
Might as well get your money's worth, I guess. Evan, what made Landy so successful tonight?
You know, it's funny. I was going to come on and say I didn't actually love his game.
Okay.
But then you see he has 4 points, and you're like, okay, well, this team has like 8 forwards right now.
Yeah.
Jacob McDonald's YOLOing it up front.
Yeah, he was not good tonight.
No, I looked it up. So when he was on the ice, he had to have 7 shot attempts, and 5 of them were just him.
Yeah.
So they spent a lot of time in their own end with that line out there. But like I said, Landy, I didn't think he was great. Like, I hated the penalty. That you knew the refs were just waiting for something like that. And he kind of just gave him an easy one to call. But 4 points is 4 points, especially, like I said, when you're missing as many forwards as the Avs are. You're going to take it. And love the goal. Love the primary assist to Kadri, too. So
Yeah.
it was just all a little bit different. And McKinnon blowing the guy up on the goal is going to get all the play because it was right before. But Landy started in the defensive zone, blowing somebody up to start the whole breakout. So, yeah, I like it when he does that and not punches guys in the face.
Or that face-off. That face-off was brutal, too.
Yeah, well,
Don't
it's low
fall.
sticking. What do you?
Yeah. Don't fall onto Landeskog's stick.
He blew somebody up in the first period too. Like, I can't remember who it was. It was kind of out of camera. But
I mean, it was everybody tonight. We talked about this earlier, right? You had big hits from Jason Megna. Cale Makar was throwing the body around. The Avs just had a physical aspect to their game in this one.
yeah, the Avs love them some Magna right now, don't they?
Well, look, it's Megna or McDermott, so which do you want?
Easy choice.
So that is what it is. I know you were tweeting about it during the game a little bit. Some of the Avs, I've taken to calling them the lost lines. Guys playing 5-6 minutes a night got pretty caved on the possession metrics.
Yeah, so I still didn't see the game against St. Louis, but it sounds like that fourth line was good against St. Louis. Tonight they were just the chaos you would expect with those 3 guys put together.
Yeah.
Like Jason Megna centering Jacob McDonald and Darren Helm.
Yeah.
You kind of got what you would expect most nights tonight. and the Cout Comfort Jost line pretty much did nothing. So it was the big guns, and I will say I am pretty tough on Sampo Ranta. I thought the first period was probably the best period I've seen him play in the NHL, because he was doing a little bit of everything.
What did you make of that line as a whole? The Avs, obviously, especially after Burakovsky goes down, they're just throwing dudes together. You get Kadri, O'Connor, and Ranta.
I thought when those three were together, that was their most consistent line from shift to shift. O'Connor has just kind of become Mr. Consistency at this point through 8 games, but Ranta, I really liked him, and I've liked Kadri pretty much all year, so really like that line for the most part tonight.
All right.
It's just a weird combination of players, but it's worked.
With that fourth line not doing so much tonight,
Here
and
we
what
go.
and what you're seeing in the AHL, there's 2 names I'm going to bring up. You've got to bring up Sherwood right now.
Do you?
I don't know.
I know he's leading the AHL in scoring right now.
He is
so
leading it.
If we're talking about earning it, he's probably earned it.
And the other one?
I mean, I'm assuming it's Newhook.
Oh, obviously.
I would bring up Newhook, of course.
Yeah.
When I watch Sherwood play in the AHL, I'm like, this is an AHL player. He is so selfish with the puck.
I guess you can get away with that in
I
the
think he
AHL
had
a little bit more.
15
So
shots last night. And it's just, yeah.
You take
he's
enough, one will go in.
I mean, we know what this guy is. He'll come up for one game, look really good, and then just kind of fade away. That's why he's never kind of done anything.
Unless
I feel like if you're going to, because Bednar kind of hinted at Newhook's not going to be down there much longer, it didn't sound like.
yeah, awesome.
You're missing Burakovsky now, potentially, day to day.
If you're missing Berkey, I don't know how you don't bring up Newhook.
Yeah.
But
This is the perfect time to bring up Newhook and be like, let's give him a chance and play on a scoring line. Like,
Yep.
we weren't going to do it at the start of the year, and like now this is your chance to give him in a consistent spot in the top 6 and see what he does.
Let's go. I'm all for it.
Let the Newhook show begin.
Yeah.
Or put Jacob McDonald on the side.
Well, I do want to talk about the defense a little bit. I see we got a couple super chats here relevant to that, so if we can bring those up. Tommy says, Murray showed some quick transition offense, which was nice. AJ said it best. He's finally in a system that lets him showcase his offensive potential. He wasn't perfect tonight, but I thought it was another pretty solid game from Murray. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or what, but you're starting to see him I guess, being in a system that he's starting to understand as a defenseman. What started the year as passes that were, you hope they were within 10 feet of a guy, are starting to click a little bit better for him.
Yeah, I think he's starting to figure out the game a little bit with with a little bit more time back there. So I can't disagree with anything that you said. I mean, I haven't had any issue with him playing.
Yeah.
He's got a really good stick in the neutral zone. I think it's starting to show up more.
All right. Trevor asks, who wins the Norris first, Makar or Byram? Because Byram is playing a hell of a two-way game. 3 games ago, I'd say Byram looks better right now, but the last couple of games for Cale Makar have been like, okay, he's still Cale Makar.
He's starting to feel it a little bit. So, yeah. You can't keep that. You can't keep a good player down like that, right? He's had some bad games. Obviously, it looks like his wrist on his left hand is very bandaged.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, he's figuring it out again.
One of them's on the top power play unit, and one of them's not. That's for the Norris Trophy. That's all that really matters. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He's putting up more points.
Yeah. What a horrible argument to have. Which one gets one first on your team? Okay.
Let's have a Calder conversation with Byram before we start having a Norris conversation there. A little bit of a ways to go.
Yeah.
Then you got Devon. Wasn't Devon Taves like 8th and
9th, I
Norris
think,
voting
last year.
last year?
Yeah. And he's due to be
times are
back
good.
any day. So
Yeah. You got to be feeling good about the Avs right now.
what, Evan, I knew early in the season you were one of the proponents of saying, hey, look, Jack Johnson has earned the number 6 spot. Is that still the case, or do you think Murray's kind of worked his way back into it?
I would rather have Murray in right now because I think Johnson's warts are starting to show more and more.
Yeah.
That neutral zone pass that almost killed him was just brutal. And then on the penalty kill where Eric Johnson's like got
Has
one
a broken
leg,
foot. Yeah.
Jack Johnson had the chance to like get rid of that puck behind the net, and he just ate it. Like he just ate the puck, and then they were stuck in their zone for at least the full 2 minutes. So
Blaze is my witness. I said, just rim that as hard as you can, Jack.
Murray seems like he's starting to kind of figure it out, whereas Jack Johnson might be going the other way. But we'll see. I could see them kind of swapping spots here and there.
Yep. I look, I'm sure there'll be some level of rotation because Jared Bednar can't go 5 minutes without swapping his lines, let alone an entire game. So, going to be some inconsistency. And
let's be honest, at this point, the Avs have like 8 forwards. They might go 7 defensemen.
They could. Yeah. They very well could. That's true. Where do you sit on the Avs right now, Evan? They're 4-4, back to 500. Is this status quo, all is good in the world again, or is there still a lot of work to do for this team?
I've always felt like they're going to be fine. It's just they can't put a team out on the ice right now that
nobody
they really want to ice. It didn't matter the other night in St. Louis. They dominated them. But I'm in no way concerned. I think they're starting to kind of find their identity. And really, it's coming from that first pair, whereas Gerard Makar was not working, and Byron Makar just
is
go,
yeah,
which is how this team wants to play. So I think that kind of just gets things going for the rest of the team.
Gerard back in the lineup tonight. Blaze, did you notice him much?
Not really.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it too.
I already wrote my grades that was kind of and unfortunately that's a big upgrade on what we've seen most of the year. So I'll take it.
Unnoticed is way better than noticed poorly.
For sure.
Definitely. But I don't know. The Avs felt like they ended up cruising to a win in a game where they kind of got dominated for 2 periods.
Yeah, if you want to have any criticism about the Avalanche right now, it's about closing out games. I mean, they did it tonight, but they didn't do it in a healthy fashion, I wouldn't say. But on the other hand, you have to give it to them. They played it a wild team that is at the top of the conference, right?
Yeah, they're second to St. Louis. Did St. Louis lose again tonight?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I mean, you got to be feeling good about the Avs right now. They took down 2 heavyweights, and let's go. These are the teams you expect the Avs to beat at the start of the year, right? And now they're doing it. We got a couple more super chats here. We kind of already answered this first one about the Tays and Murray thing. The other one, that's the one we already answered also. Okay. Yeah, and then we just happened to talk about that anyway, where I think everyone, Blaze, you leaning towards Murray as well there? Absolutely, right now.
Were you a defensive defenseman or were you an offensive defenseman? I don't know.
I played forward. Now that I'm older, I play defense now.
So as an adult, are you offensive or defensive defenseman?
I'm a definitely stay-at-home type of guy now.
All right. Took one too many pucks to the face and decided.
I mean, one too many pucks to the face and you're just getting out of the way of everything. I just kind of stand in there and hopefully it doesn't hit you in the face. And every now and then I'll rush up the ice, but most of the time I'm stay-at-home.
Okay, this is a new one.
Yeah. Found the new one. Why are we keeping Rambo, McDonald, Megna up when we have Maltsev, Newhook, Sherwood, and Bowers getting no NHL experience in Fort Collins? Okay. So.
Bowers is hurt again.
Yeah. Bowers is hurt.
Upper body.
Even if he wasn't, we don't need to have the conversation again of whatever it is the Avs want to see out of him. He's not doing clearly. Despite what we may think.
I do think his preseason kind of put him higher up the chart, but he literally has not. What has he played 1 game this year?
I think it was one.
If you can't play, you can't get called up.
Yeah.
Maltsev, frankly, looked terrible in his couple games of NHL opportunity. And, we kind of already talked about, I think we would probably prefer to see Newhook up over maybe some of these other guys.
Yeah.
The Ranta one is interesting. The Avs are giving him a proper opportunity in the NHL right now. And if you are saying, hey, look, let's give these kids opportunities, sometimes you need to live with them giving one to the kid that you don't want. It's still an opportunity for the prospects, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could see him going down and just getting a little bit more confidence in his game. There's a lot of pucks that are just kind of like thrown away from him, where it almost looks like he's just trying to get rid of the puck so fast that, you know, it looks like his decision making is just not there.
Yeah.
You just have to wonder how do they see him, I guess.
What's the long-term
Because if they
plan?
don't,
Sure.
if they don't see him as like a big offensive guy, like, do they really care if he goes down to the AHL and scores a bunch of points? Like, are they just kind of developing him as like just a guy to go out there and forecheck? Like, that's kind of seems like what they've told him to do at this point.
Yeah, but that's not his game, really. Like, he is like deadly when he gets in front of the net, and you haven't seen him in front of the net much. So,
I wonder how much of that is his understanding of the game at NHL speed. Can he find the space?
Yeah.
But look, in a perfect world, the Avs would give opportunity to all of their prospects and they would all succeed. But at the end of the day, especially Bednar has talked about this a lot when it comes to the TOI on the team, when a bunch of these guys are playing minimal minutes. The Avs put themselves in a hole early in the season where they need to win games to get back to 500 or higher, which they've done now. And if they're leading in games, that gives more opportunity to give more time to some of these guys. So we're starting to see those things move in the direction where it's like, all right, maybe they can take more proper looks at some of these guys. But through the first 8 games, there hasn't been a ton of that, really.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see some of these decisions get made in game 10, game 15, something like that. As far as the rest of those guys, we kind of talked about Sherwood a little bit already. Look, Sherwood, Megna, you could rotate all of those dudes through that spot, and they're all the quadruple A player that show up and probably don't hurt you too much, but don't do a whole lot. So whatever works.
I'd rather
Pretty much.
rather see a healthy Avs team where they're,
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot less of those decisions being made.
Definitely would be ideal if you're not down Mikko and Berkey and Taves. But look, Avs are working through it right now.
Nope.
The hope is hopefully the injuries don't pile up any more than they already have. But
I mean, it's trending in the right direction right now.
oh yeah, the team looks significantly better than they did a week ago. Put it that way.
Yeah.
So, and Evan, you got any final thoughts on this one? We'll go to you first.
No, just like you said, they're working through it. Like, they're kind of dealing with some stuff right now. I felt like, I don't know if I really talked about it. McKinnon really felt like he was starting to crank it up. So if he can start to figure it out, then that's really going to make all the difference, because he's the engine up front. And if you're missing a million guys, we saw it a few years ago when he carried Calvert and Donskoy for like an entire month and put up 2 points per game. If he's going, then I'm not sure it really matters all that much what happens with the rest of the lineup.
Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, every lineup, it's top down. If your best dudes are going, you just make the rest of it work on most nights. So,
I mean, when you're missing this many guys, it makes sense, but it doesn't feel like they've had a full 60-minute effort yet.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, when you're missing these many guys, that's not that surprising, because there's just a lot of inconsistencies in the lineup, especially when guys just continue to leave mid-game and you're just tossing random dudes on the ice.
Speaking of which, thank you, chat, for coming through with the quote there. On Berkey day-to-day, I think he just tweaked something. So it doesn't sound like anything too serious. But
it looked like he went ass over ankles when
Yeah.
Johnson scored.
On the
I saw in
second
the
goal,
background, him falling over. I was like,
the reverse toe pick. Blaze, you got any final thoughts on this one?
I'm going to go from the back end of the Avalanche, right? Like, if Kemper...
bottom up.
Huh? Kemper looked as advertised tonight, and if that's the trend that we're going to start seeing, I mean, if he's only allowing 1 goal on a power play, get ready for some fun Avalanche hockey this year.
You don't need a banger offense when you can give up one goal a night.
Yeah, especially in the modern day NHL. If it's one goal, you're gonna have a good season.
Thank you for the super chat, Roger. Kadri gets 1 game suspension for not taking any penalties.
Oh, in the beginning there too, when he started getting into it a little bit, there was the fight that broke out.
Yeah.
You're like, just stay away from that.
I did want to get, I guess, both your takes. We kind of glossed over it earlier. You think the Department of Player Safety should take a look at that hit on Byram?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I hope they don't think 5 minutes was enough.
No, I mean, minimum a fine.
Okay.
I think that's the minimum that you see there.
It's such a dangerous play.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you are trying to get cross-checking out, like you're trying to take that serious. Like, that is probably the most dangerous place to do it.
And that one wasn't like a bang bang in the corner. A guy turns his back to the play. Like that was numbers all the way. He saw
Byram is actively tracking down a puck.
Yeah, like you can pull away from putting that guy through the boards there.
Yeah. Cross-check numbers,
Yep.
3 feet from the boards.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it's the exact recipe for what not to do, right?
Yep.
By the precedent they've set this year, no doubt. It's got to be looked at. And
Absolutely.
I'm assuming this dude I've never heard of probably has no history of suspensions in the NHL. But,
There's a lot of guys I had never heard of on their team.
Well, one of them can say they fought Nathan McKinnon now.
Yeah.
Isn't he the guy who scored? Like, he dropped his stick and it just hit him in the leg and
Oh,
went in as his first
rookie.
NHL
He's a
goal.
rookie. Yeah.
Yeah. And now he's going to get suspended.
Yeah.
Checking all the boxes.
He's also the guy that stepped on the puck in warm-ups too on his first lap out there.
Hate to see it. All right. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. We're going to go enjoy our Halloween party here at the DNVR bar. So you snooze, you lose on missing it. Hope to see you all very, very soon. The Avs are off for the next 3 days, but we will be live Monday at our normal time, 1:30 p.m. at Mountain. We hope to see you all there. For Blaze, Evan, I'm Rudo, and we love you all very, very much. Thank you for the super chats. We will see you on the next one.